Assalamu guys, hope you're well, hope you're good. It's your brother Naseem Khan, or many of you know me as Nas Khan. Welcome to UCTV. Today I've got another special guest with me who I'm going to interview. So give me exactly 10 seconds and I'll show you who it is. Welcome to you.
Hey! Do not be fooled by the leftist ideals that I've got. I'm still Tehzeeb from the block. Oh, what would Jesus want the day after he's resurrected? Oh, hello, Daddy. And in Arabic says, kill infidels. That I would punish a Nazi by not hating people who are different to me.
And there you go, guys. I'm here with my brother Tez. Brother Tez, how are you?
Elbowing it. Yeah, elbows needed. You got that little social distance gap here so people don't complain. Thank you for having me on the show.
No,
bro.
thank you for coming.
We've been trying to arrange this for a while.
Yeah, you've got a very, very busy schedule, Tez. Very, very busy schedule. And I just want to say thank you very much, giving us your time.
No, Jazakallah, I always feel when people invite me onto their platforms, like, is a blessing. Like, so thank you for having me.
No problem.
And yeah, man.
We're gonna go back to the past a little bit. When did it first start for you?
So for me, I'm like Nas, I'm Blackburn born and raised, and was born here, did my infant school, primary school, high school here, did college here. After college, went to university.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to get into one of the best universities in the country, Lancaster. Did 4 years there, and then when I came back home, that's when you're like, oh, what do I want to do with my life now? Degree early, yeah, I've got my degree. So what do we do next? I worked at BT in town.
Oh, fantastic!
So I did my, as everyone, it's like jury service, isn't it? Everyone has to do that. Everyone has to have a go. It's like Sugar Babes. Everyone's done it. Everyone's had a go at it. So I did that. I did that for like 6-7 months and that, and then that summer. So we're talking like 2005 now. That's how old I am.
Okay.
So 2005. Then I went to America to do Camp America.
Fantastic.
Luckily, that year I'd got myself a graduate job.
Yeah.
So I got myself a really good job down in London, working for the civil service.
Fantastic.
Ended up working at the Home Office.
Oh.
Went down there, did a year there, came back up, worked in Liverpool. They got the Home Office there, did there for a year.
Fantastic.
Then went on to Conment from the Home Office to the Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service.
Oh.
Not to be a sexy fireman, but I got to wear a uniform though. But and I was delivering the Prince's Trust for them, like getting young people who are kind of 16 to 25, who've not really done well at school, might have just come out of youth detention or prison, and just trying to get their life back on track.
So you were the man.
Doing that sort of a program for them to get their life back on track. Did that for a year, then went back to the Home Office and went back to London. So I did a year in London, 2 years back up here, and then went back to London. When I went back the second time, now we're talking beginning of 2010, I thought to myself, I need something to do. I need a hobby in it. I need somewhere to pass the time, because it's a big place. And I haven't got any family there. My friends are scattered all over the city. It's not like TV shows where everyone lives together in it. Like everyone's scattered about. So in the evenings, bro, like I'm not ashamed to say, you get a bit lonely and you think, I haven't got my family around. I need a hobby. So I started looking for a writing course. I thought, could you liksa? And I came across a stand-up workshop. And now I'd never ever thought about a career in the arts. Stand-up, acting, nothing. Where we go, where we're from.
Absolutely.
No one ever tells you that that's a viable career. No one ever tells you, you could do that. Even at school, at home, nowhere.
It's like when I did music.
Exactly. Like you're such a pioneer, because whose footsteps are you following in?
My dad goes, Allah Jesus Kare, he goes, Kanjar Hane nu bar cut. He goes, I come karna hai. You know what I mean?
Well, I was a bit older in it. So by the time I started, I was 26, going on 27, and I was living in London. So I had no one to answer to every evening, innit? So now I was going out in the evenings doing what I was doing. There was no one at home going, get them into Garmar. So I went on so I saw this stand-up workshop, and I thought, my friends tell me I'm funny. I'm deluded enough to believe them, innit? I believe more on hype and that. So I think, what's the worst that can happen? I'll go to this workshop and meet people. I might make a fool of myself, but not in front of anyone that I know.
Absolutely.
So I did this thing. It was 1 day a week for 6 weeks. They got me writing, because I would never even have thought to even try and write jokes or anything like that, because
it's not easy.
Because like we're in Blackburn, there's a lot of, alhamdulillah, there's a lot of funny people. Like in Blackburn, if you did the funniest people at Blackburn, I probably wouldn't even be in the top 1,000. Everyone's a comedian here. Like my family, if you look, I'm not even the funniest person in my family. you know, I got my cousins. My dad's very funny and that. So, but I always, you know, people when I was at uni and they go said to me, I always made them laugh and stuff. So I thought, well, you know, who
Why
knows?
not? Yeah.
Who knows? There's a little thing, you know,
Let's do this.
make a fool of myself and you know, and some experience in it.
Yeah.
I did it. Then at the end of this little workshop, it was for 6 weeks, 1 day a week for 6 weeks. Then everyone on the course, they invite their friends and family for a showcase.
Right.
So whatever you prepared in that time on the course, you do in front of them. So like 70 people in a room, like a little gig effectively.
Yeah.
And I did that, and people laughed when I wanted them to laugh, rather than laughing at me. And I thought, you know what?
This is
that
superb.
went all right.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the feeling. You know, it's like being on stage and making that crowd act the way you want them to act.
Absolutely.
It's an unbeatable feeling. So from there, I went on the open mic circuit, which is the bottom rung of the ladder. That's like
Did you not like feel like, obviously if you first went, did you not feel like a bit nervy?
So nervous, bro. Yeah. Oh my god, like.
But I think once you're on that stage, your cap kind of turns, doesn't it?
Once you get them first laughs, when them first couple of laughs comes in, it settles everything down. But them first couple, bro, I was like, because obviously your head automatically, we do this in everything, not just performing, but in everything, our head just goes to the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it does,
You know, you've got a doctor's appointment and you're like, what is AIDS? You don't. I've got cancer, bro. And like, but really, it's like you got lump that the doctor's gonna take off any, or like calm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, my niece the other day, she had symptoms in it or something, and we started panicking. I was like, my sister goes, "They're gonna come over." I was like, "No, you're not coming over. You're going home and isolating.
You know,
no one's coming.
This is a live skit, guys.
No one's coming to my house." I was like, I was dropping off Salon to my sister's house, and you're like,
"Can you do?"
And then running back to the car and that, but then she got a negative test. So she hasn't got it. So you're panicking for no reason. But that's what happens in it. So in your head, when you're ready to go on, the worst things go through you. Like your head is thinking of the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario that no one's gonna laugh. Your friends are in the audience. They're gonna laugh at you afterwards.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, that didn't happen. It went well. That gave me the confidence to do a second gig. Do a third gig. Do a fourth gig. Become a little hobby.
Yeah.
So after that became a little hobby. Then it became a serious hobby. Then it became a part-time job, a second job. And then eventually it got to the point where that was a full-time job and my full-time job was my full-time job as well. So I was trying to balance both things for 6.5 years. So 2010 to the end of 2016, I was doing both. I was working at the Home Office, my graduate job, which is what my mum sent me to university in London for.
And then your hobby at the same time.
And then my hobby at the same time, which was, you know, I was earning, alhamdulillah, a bit of money from. Yeah. And then it got to the point at the end of 2016 where a good contract came in place and I thought, now's the time that I can leave my job and do this full time. But I have to leave London as well. So I left London, came back home. Obviously now I'm not paying all that rent that I was paying. And we made it work, bro. And now we're nearly 4 years later.
Very good,
3.5 years later, we're making it work, bro. Obviously this year's been hard.
Yeah, he would have had a fantastic tour, which you've rescheduled for next year.
Yeah.
Because of this COVID, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's wicked. I mean, I wouldn't just say follow, I've been seeing you as well, and every little thing I see, obviously I share it because you're a brother from Blackburn.
Appreciate that.
For me, Blackburn is like any talent from Blackburn, but you get some people who think, oh yeah, look at him, I can do it, you know, the kind of stuff. That's just part of life. But other than that, I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Appreciate that.
What's your next one? I know you're doing, bar the tour, you've got something else in the pipeline, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a very, very exciting announcement that I'm making on Monday.
Right, so are we not getting an exclusive?
You know what, I was meant to do it this week. I was meant to do it this week, but we had to push it back a week. Right. But watch out for my social media channels on Monday. And we got a very, very big announcement that I've been working on all year. So on Monday, I'll let you know what that is, and I hope you're as excited as I am about it.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go for a quick break, Tez, and after the break, we'll catch back up. So stay there, yeah. Right, guys, catch us in about 2 seconds. Yes, Guy, welcome back, man. We've got Brother Tez in the studio today, and I'm telling you, we are having a laugh. You know what I mean? He's giving a nice skit here, so I'm just going to bring him back in now. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Listen, it's nice, isn't it? Because most of the time when I get interviewed by people, they're not from ends in it, so they're not from Blackburn. They don't know the area, but because you're from here, everything that I'm saying, you really understand it because you're from where I'm from. So
absolutely.
I mean, similar generation. I mean, you're a couple of years older than me, but similar generation.
But I can understand the struggle and the passion. Yeah, and obviously, like now, when you first started doing all this, and how did you break it to your family?
It was weird. I think the first person that I broke it to was my cousin Wasim. So I think I've been going for like maybe 6 months. I must have done like maybe 30-40 gigs. Yeah. And when I say gigs, I'm talking about like literally like room above like a bar or a pub or something. It was just like little gigs, like 10-20 people. And
but that's how you start.
That's how you start. It's like, you don't go from never playing football to playing professional football, innit? There's a lot in between that, innit? Basically training, basically. So I was doing all those sorts of gigs, but there's still gigs though, innit? Still in front of a live audience, trying to make them laugh and stuff. So I told my cousin, I go, we were just hanging out, and I was like, I also got to tell you something. Whenever someone says that to you, you're like, God, what's he gonna say? Yeah. Like, and I went, I started doing stand-up comedy, and he went, sorry, I thought for a second there, I thought you said you started doing stand-up comedy. What did you say? And then, you funny guy. No, I started doing stand-up comedy, innit? And then we just had a good chat about it, and he was like, look, I don't know what to say in it because it seems quite far away from our world here in Blackburn. But if you're enjoying it, then enjoy it. I think even at that point, we didn't know where it was gonna get to. And
it's a normal case, that.
Yeah, of
until
course.
you find your what do you call it, your ground, where, for example, you get a good team on you, good management team, etc. Then you know where you're headed.
Yeah, and also because the comedy circuit has its own terminology, just like any industry does. So if I say to my cousin or my mum or whoever that, I've got a 10-minute slot at the Glee Club in Birmingham, that doesn't mean anything to them. It doesn't mean anything to them. They're like, I wouldn't know what that is. But as soon as a little bit of radio started coming, a little bit of TV started coming, when I could say I'm on BBC Radio, then it was like, cha, what I say, So when I started saying things that they recognised, that's when they started relaxing a lot more. But obviously my mum was very resistant to it initially. She didn't understand. It's not a world that they're from. It's not like I can say to her, Mum, going to be like this so-and-so person. Because there is no one who's really following it apart from, those goodness gracious me, like they were amazing. But Pakistani nina, Musliman nina, so even then they can't say like,
and this is what makes me happy, especially as a Muslim brother. Even if it's a Muslim sister, at least you're Muslim and you're from the hometown. And you've gone out there. You've not just done like local Blackburn press, and you've gone everywhere, bro.
We're trying to make it mainstream, innit?
Absolutely, and you've gone mainstream, and that's what it's about. And you know what I mean?
I think for me, like that's where I started. I started in the mainstream, and actually then I'm about to come sidestep to our own circuit, the Abna circuit, the Muslim circuit, the alternative circuits. So for me, because I had that mainstream training and grounding.
What did you think from that training grounding? The aspect of the Muslim audience and the mainstream audience. Did you see any?
Oh yeah, massive difference. But I think because initially when I started doing those Muslim audience gigs, the Muslim audiences weren't really used to going to stand-up comedy. They hadn't really done that as part of growing up and stuff. So it was very hard to sort of get them to relax and actually laugh out loud and just relax and enjoy the show. And also material-wise, on the mainstream circuit, you can literally do anything. Anything you want to do.
No holds barred.
And even when you take, Gory bless them, they love it when you take the mick out of them. Like they really, really enjoy it. And Opni are not the same.
No.
You know what I mean? We have that Izzat and Besti, that's what I mean. So it's a slightly different thing. So I had to really relearn a lot of things when I started doing the more Asian circuit, more Muslim circuit. But that mainstream circuit gave me the confidence that I can do this as a career. And then now doing the Muslim and Asian circuit, that's given me the confidence that I'm doing the right thing, because they've taken me to heart now and gone, we like what you do, we support you. And that's made me feel really good.
Absolutely.
Because without the support of your own people, none of it means anything.
No. And moving on from that, obviously, let's get to your writing, So obviously when you did your first gigs, you were just like, man, I'm going to do this. Were they structured?
Yeah, man.
Because now you've got to do it proper, like, to the T. And the shows that you've done, was it Bounty?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You wrote that yourself?
Yeah, I wrote that myself.
How did you get the rest of them involved, like Gozog, and a few other people?
So I was working with a production company. called Big Talk, who make a lot of productions. They make like Friday Night Dinner, and they made a few films as well. So they wanted to work with me. I wanted to work with them. So we started with this idea. I wrote it, and then they said to me, you know, these parts, who would you like to see in them? And then you give names. You're like, obviously, I want Gus to play my cousin. I want Cindy to play my mum.
Oh, so you were in charge of that?
Not in charge, I would say, but it's a collaborative process. So you give them names, and sometimes people don't want to do it. Obviously, in my case, luckily they did. But in some cases, people don't want to do it, or they're not available, or they feel like the part's not right for them, or maybe the scheduling doesn't work out for them and stuff. But I was lucky that in terms of my first choices, Gus was my first choice. Artif, who plays the taxi driver, was my first choice. Sindhu was my first choice as the mum. The only one with a bit of difficulty was the sister role. So casting that, getting a young Asian girl that could fulfill that role was quite difficult. So we auditioned a lot of actresses for that role, and then we settled on Ashna, who's really talented. So, but yeah, it's a collaborative process, because ultimately you want people that you work with and comfortable with the roles. But if they're not capable of doing it, maybe they're comedians but not actors. It's a slightly different discipline. So you have to obviously listen to the experience of the producers, because they've done this. This is their job. They do this successfully in the mainstream channel for BBC, Netflix, or
There you go.
So you got to listen to their.
You
when
know,
they give you
because
advice,
you've been in the
when they give you advice, as much as it sometimes goes against your instinct or your ego as well. You got to think, actually, these people know what they're doing.
So just take it on the chin and carry on.
Taking the chin, and because feedback, I remember when they first started working with producers, getting their feedback was really hard, because I'm used to writing my sketch, going on stage, saying it. If people laugh, we can. If they don't laugh, I go away and work on it, do it again. With producers, suddenly you got another ear, you got another person telling you, "Have you thought about this? Maybe that won't work actually." And you're going, "What do you mean? I'm the comedian. What are you telling me?" But then you realize actually these people have got so much experience and so much invaluable advice to give you that you just got to put because you're not used to it. It's a bit like, I don't want to. Why are you saying this to me? But you put your ego to a side for a second, and you realize actually they're saying it for a reason, even if you can't see it in the moment, or you might not agree with the advice that they're giving you exactly. But the reason they're giving it to you, and if you don't take it personally and actually just take it objectively in the way that they intend to give it to you, then actually you can make the whole thing better. And
alhamdulillah, I think this is why you're on that successful pedestal, and I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you there and take you further. Any message you want to give out to anybody, or any advice?
Well, I would say advice in terms of like, look, we live in an era where it's never been easier to produce content. Everyone's got these amazing machines in their pocket. It might not be as nice as my iPhone Pro, but I'm saying everyone's got these amazing smartphones, and we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, you've got YouTube, you've got TikTok, you've got Instagram, you've got Snapchat. All of these platforms that give you basically a platform to allow you to perform something, create it, produce it, edit it, and put it out. We didn't have that.
No, we didn't.
So if you are a creative person, you don't have to be the person in front of the camera. You could be the person filming. You could be the person editing
behind the scenes.
Because all of those jobs are really, really important. Everything that you see on TV, for whatever your favorite song, one person singing or rapping. But there's other people producing it. There are so many people producing, in fact, behind the scenes.
Which I've come from, and I
of
know
course,
exactly,
and you understand that. But your favourite films, how many people are in those credits? When you watch a film at the end of it, even a small film, there's like 1,000 of people. Never mind something like Marvel, where there's like tens of thousands of people involved. So it doesn't have to be that you have to be the clown in front of the camera. It could be that you're the person filming, you're the person doing the sound, you're the person in charge of lighting, you're the person in charge of the editing afterwards. These are all invaluable jobs. But I would say that just start creating. Get your friends that are like-minded like you and start doing it, and don't listen to the haters. There will be people constantly in your life telling you, you can't do this, don't do this, you shouldn't do this. As long as it's not haram, go and do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you've got to shut those doubters up, because ultimately you want to do things that maybe they're too scared to do, or they haven't thought about, or it wasn't possible, maybe if your parent, it wasn't possible for them when they were younger. But times have moved on, so follow your dreams and do perfect and do what you want.
And you get haters because you're doing good in the first place. That's the way I look at it.
Exactly. And you won't create a masterpiece first time round. That's not the process. Think about learning to drive. You couldn't drive in your first couple of lessons. Sometimes it can take people 20, 30 lessons. It can take people 4 or 5 tests. And then eventually, even then, once you pass, then it takes another couple of months to be properly road ready. So that's the same if you're going to create content for Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever. your first couple might not be amazing, but you got to get through the processes. You got to get through those early ones to get good, and then eventually you'll start creating amazing things that hopefully people will like and share.
Absolutely. Tez, it's been an honor, mate.
Well, thank you for having me.
No, thank you very much for taking time out from your busy schedule. We'll go for the elbow, and definitely we'll catch up with them. Keep me posted, so I'll get the views posted next time I'm on. And if you ever free, you can come back on anytime.
Inshallah. And follow me on everything on at Tez Ilyas on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of that stuff. Watch my stuff as well. So thank you.
And there you have it, guys. That was brother Tez Ilyas. Make sure you log on to his social networks everywhere. Just put in Tez Ilyas, he'll pop up. He's got a fantastic tour coming on. He's got a big announcement coming on Monday. So make sure you tune in and stay safe, guys, and catch you next week.